Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1718, spring cleaning. Who likes it? Who doesn't? Some people like to spring clean. I don't, but I do it anyway. You had to go bring in another toy, huh? Time to go live. It's time to play. Okay, so spring cleaning. What are we talking about? We're talking about also, there's all sorts of different ways that you can spring clean. There is spring cleaning your house, there is spring cleaning the environment, and there is spring cleaning yourself. So let's have a quick look at these because I'm in the middle of spring cleaning right now. If you've been listening to the last few nights, I've also got my annual inspection coming up and things like that. And so I'd already started the spring cleaning prior to getting notification on that. But spring cleaning the house, it's one of the things you can do is declutter. And I am working through that. I moved into this house like almost 11 months ago, and I still have boxes that I need to go through. And I have been going through those boxes, finding out. And when you decluttering, there's the 4-box technique or the 4-basket technique or the 4-bag technique, the 4 whatever you want to call it technique, where you have a keep, a donate, a sell, and a throw away. Those are your 4 boxes: keep, sell, donate, and throw. And that's made it a lot easier when I'm going through the boxes. Although because I still got a bit of stuff that Brad had, that was Brad's, the memories come up and the emotions start running, but that's okay. You're allowed to. That's fine. So when you're using the 4-box technique, you got to figure out, am I going to keep this? If I'm keeping it, where is it going? Am I going to donate it? Is it something that is donatable? Is it, or can I sell it? Is it something I can sell? Like I was out in the garage yesterday and I got Brad's golf clubs out there, and I thought, oh yeah, I got to see about selling those. And, they're just regular golf clubs, except for the shafts have been extended for somebody who is 6'5". So there's a specific height range required for those golf clubs. So now I've got to go in. And I was talking with my older stepson today, and he said, send me photos of them and I'll see what I can find out about. And he even gave me advice on different places I could go to get them, to see if they're worth selling, what I would get for them selling, what prices I could get, that sort of thing. Which was kind of cool. But so can you donate it? Can you sell it? Or is it not worth anything and just toss it? Sometimes we've got to toss out some of the stuff, and I have boxes full of paperwork, and I have to go through those boxes, and I'm kind of putting those aside because I need to go through these and determine, is it stuff I need to shred? Is it stuff I can just toss? Or is it stuff I need to keep? So paperwork goes into 3 boxes: keep, shred, or toss. Shredding are the ones that's got the important information on there, the personal information, and you don't want it out there. The just general toss stuff that's just like, a receipt that you don't need anymore because you've already got it filed away. It could just be scratch notes you've written on a piece of paper that you no longer need. You'll find maybe you've got some advertising postcards in there that you definitely don't need those. They were just written to, the current resident mail. Maybe you got some of that caught up in there. So that's a very quick way to go through. But the cool part about decluttering is that as you declutter your house, you're also helping declutter your mind, because when you see clear spaces, it allows room. For some reason, when you see a physical space that you have now cleared, it allows room for stuff to come into your brain. It allows room for creativity, productivity, that sort of cool stuff to happen. Deep cleaning strategies. Now, I don't own this house. I rent. So there ain't no way moving anything like refrigerators or the refrigerator or the gas stove to get in behind it to clean it out and that sort of stuff. But, if you do own the home, because I don't want to, it's just me. If it was somebody here who could help me with move that stuff, then yeah, probably. But it's just me, so that won't be happening. But I have been up on the stepladder cleaning off the fan blades. I've got a short stepladder, but I need to get the 6-foot one out to do the ones in the family room and the one in my bedroom. I need those ones, because those are hanging from like 20-foot ceilings. And maybe I should take my laser measure thingy there and measure just exactly how far up it is. But yeah, so I need the 6-foot ladder to get up to those ones, because I was on the step ladder yesterday, and it's just a 2-step one, but it's nice because it's got nice big square platforms that you can actually stand on, so you're not balancing on a ladder. And so I still was sitting on this top one there, and I could reach the blades, but I couldn't, because I use I get a pillowcase, and I put it over the blades, and then I put my hands on either side and I pull it back off, so it catches the dust that way, and the dust isn't going everywhere, which is kind of nice. And my sinuses and my chest thank me for that. So one part of deep cleaning too is getting seasonal maintenance checks done. So like on your HVAC filters, checking for drafts around windows and doors. Has it been so cold that maybe some of the seals around windows and doors might have cracked? Do they need replacing? Just making sure that you do those, even window treatments, blinds. So all the blinds, actually the blinds here are pretty good. They haven't gathered any dust. So, but they're getting dusted and wiped down anyway with a damp cloth. Because if you use the damp cloth, it keeps the dust down and stops it flying around and getting into your sinuses. Yes, we like that. Also trying to use eco-friendly cleaners as well, because I absolutely detest. One row I detest in the supermarket, in any store, anywhere, is if they have a cleaning aisle, I ain't going down there unless absolutely have to. Like if they've got a product down there, like light bulbs or something, and then even then I'm sort of like, oh, maybe I'll just order them off Amazon. If I see something like what I'm looking for down there, and I really don't want to go down there, because it just stinks and I can't breathe properly when I get those strong smells. So I don't want to bring that stuff into the house either. So I'm always looking for eco-friendly cleaners. And there's plenty of people out there who have businesses that deal with eco-friendly cleaners, and so go support a friend's business if they have eco-friendly cleaners. And but you can even find online recipes for using with vinegar, baking soda, that sort of stuff. You can find those online where they're using natural products rather than taking distilled vinegar, putting it into a squirt bottle and squirting the windows and cleaning it off with what do we used to do in the Air Force? We used to clean off with newspaper. Yep, spray the windows with vinegar and clean it off with newspaper. I don't even know where we got the vinegar from, but we did. But I would tell you, they gave us very streak-free glass. It looked like there was no glass in the window at all. That was absolutely amazing. But even, like paper towels, you can get those microfiber cloths that don't leave any lint behind. Those work pretty well too when you're spraying with the vinegar and wiping off the windows and things. That way you can just wash the cloths and reuse them. So big elf thing. You could do when I'm organizing. Now most people think that I'm organized. And in some respects I am organized, but a lot of respects I am like the least organized person you want to know. I have some areas of my house that are very well organized, and I have other places that I walk in and go, oh, jeepers, this is a mess. My closet being one of them. Yes, I have my clothes hang. I don't have any dresses, so all my T-shirts are hanging up, and I have this, what is it? It's a hanging thing that's got all these little pockets in, and that's where all my socks go and underwear and things like that. Well, actually, my underwear just sits in a basket. It's the easiest thing. I don't like folding underwear. Socks get put into the organizer. The underwear goes in a basket. And then I have, what is it? I got a thing that I just roll my yoga pants, you roll them up, and my jeans, I roll them up and just stick them into these little cubby hole thingies. But the floor, it's not very well organized right now. No, it's a bit of a mess. I do need to take the step ladder in there because I've got bags that are laying on the floor that I need to put up above the shelves, and I can't reach, so I need the step ladder to do it. And they're bags I use once in a while, not all day, every day. So they will go up there for storage to get them off the floor. So if you've got a way that you can organize everything and maybe label it if you need to. I use tote bins for things like my yarn. All my yarn sits in tote bins, and they're kind of clear. They're those white, opaque, not really opaque, but they're translucent ones. And so I can see what wool is in the colors of the yarn that's in there. which makes it nice and easy to find them. And they stack up nicely and keep things organized. I have all my scrapbooking supplies. I've got them in these scrapbooking bags. In fact, one of the bags, which I'm really annoyed about, went missing during moving. And it was a nice big double wide bag. It was 2 feet long, at least 2 feet long. Yeah, because my pages were 12 by 12. So it was just over 2 feet long. And I had everything organized in there. I had my albums in there, my extra pages, my pages for my scrapbooking, the plastic covers and everything else in that bag. No idea where it is. It's one of those things that went. It's one of those moving, missing things that you never recover from. If you have places that you can put things, and then it makes it easy too when you come around to the next spring clean or the fall clean. So I always like doing one in fall as well. So every 6 months, once in spring, once in fall, because when you do the fall clean, I'm now preparing for winter to come in, and so there's certain things that I need to put away and other things I need to pull out because in springtime I'm putting away in New Zealand we call them the winter woolies, and those are like your sweatshirts, your sweaters, those things, the winter woolies, gloves, hats, scarves, all that sort of stuff that you need if you're in cold places that you need to put out. And you basically put in your winter clothes, get put away, and you bring out the summer clothes. So in spring, the winter clothes, I start organizing those. Which ones can I keep? Because I've shrunk 4 inches off my waist. So and I was attending a really cool webinar today on essential oils and menopause or perimenopause, which is the beginning of going through menopause, and into postmenopause. And some of the things that they were talking about in there just really struck a chord with me, but it was really cool to listen to. And they talked about the waist-hip ratio and how that can determine your health level. And I thought, well, I know that I've released 4 inches off my waist. It shrunk down 4 inches, but I never really measured my hips for a while. And in my phone, I was keeping track of all of that frequently. And so I went in there and I pulled up my tape measure, and this was today. And normally I do this thing like first thing in the morning. So I'll do it properly again tomorrow morning, because your body does get a little bloated during the day, and and the best time to weigh yourself is first thing in the morning, after you've been to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom, get on the scales, best time to weigh. And so I use that technique for measuring. And so still got 4 inches off my waist, and but my hips, they're down a little more. And so then I did the waist hip ratio, which is taking the waist measurement, dividing it by the hip measurement, and it gives you a 0 point something number. And mine was below the lowest one there. And I was like, yes. I was super excited about that because it said that if you were, hang on. Waist to hip ratio, low is 0.80 or lower. Medium is 0.81 to 0.85, and high is 0.86 or higher. And this is to do with your health levels and your chances of, the lower you can get that waist hip ratio, the less I'm trying to remember what it said. Now I'm probably going to misquote this, and I'm sorry, Tiffany, if I do this. You want it low because then you've got less risk of heart disease, diabetes, and Alzheimer's and all that other stuff. That's my understanding on it. Mine was 0.78. I was like, yes. Happy dance, yes. Anyway, that's part of spring cleaning. It's spring cleaning the body, but we'll get to that one in a minute. Next we got spring cleaning the environment. Excuse me one moment. I need to hydrate. Oh, this is one thing I found today. This is what I found this today in a box. I'm super excited because, so this is my little kiwi. It's got a map of New Zealand on him. And you guys will probably think that's abalone in there, the shell bits. That's actually called pawa, which is, I believe, part of the same family that abalone is part of. But it's got a little map of New Zealand in there. It doesn't have all the places. Oh, it's got New Plymouth, so yeah, close to that. But it's got all different place names and things in there as well. So it's my little kiwi guy. I found him today, and I was I'd actually forgotten I had him, but when I found him, I was like, yay. So he's now sitting on my desk. So I have kiwis on my desk. It's awesome. See what you find when you spring clean? You find things that you have misplaced because you got so good at spring cleaning, you forgot where you put things. And that's another cool thing that you do about when you're spring cleaning, when you're starting to put all the winter stuff away, like even like the throw rugs and things like that. I've got a place where I put those because during spring and summer, you don't need them as much as you do during fall and winter. So that's why I do a fall cleaning. I switch things out. The summer stuff away, start bringing out the winter stuff, like throw rugs. I'll keep a couple out, but the rest of them will go away. And so when I'm doing the cleaning and stuff, like I said, with the clothes and things, I've got to figure out, am I going to keep this? Is it too big on me? Am I going to keep it or am I going to donate it? Most of the clothes I end up donating unless they're ready thingies and that sort of stuff. So spring cleaning your environment. So then that's all about spring cleaning the house, spring cleaning the environment, reducing the environmental impact. And this is like, how are you disposing of things? Are they recyclable? Does your county have recycling where they recycle electronics, hazardous materials, things like that, where they will dispose of them safely and in an environmentally friendly way? I try to use plastic as I'm having Nicole come in, and Nicole will be on Tuesday night, this Tuesday night. Now, Tuesday night, we're going to be on later because we actually have an event that both of us are going to be at, which starts at 5 o'clock and finishes at 7. So as soon as that's finished, we're going to be coming on like 7:05. But if you remember her talking about reducing the amount of plastics that you have in the kitchen and in the pantry and stuff, because if you switch them out for glass containers or stainless steel containers, then you lower the risk of having toxins transferred into food items and things like that. And you want airtight. And so I'm starting to reduce the amount of plastics that I use. And I have my silicon's the other one you can use too. And I have my silicone bags, which I have been using a lot. I just took out some ground beef that I had in the freezer that was stored in a silicone bag rather than a freezer bag. So I got rid of that. So I've got that. Bottles. This one is glass. The only problem I have with this one is when I'm driving. And when I'm driving, there is a slight problem with it. This does not fit in the cup holder. It's too wide. And I don't want to take the silicone wrapper off it because then it will it protects the glass. But I love my glass one. I also have and then I found I have a stainless steel one and it's got a twist top on it. But we just got a new product at Mailbox Power, which is this it's a 40-ounce traveling mug with a handle. And it's got that narrow piece at the bottom that will fit in my cup holder. So I'm like thinking, maybe I'll get myself one of those because it's stainless steel. It's got a straw on it. So it will sit in my cup holder. It's got a leak-proof lid. And then it's got a straw that you can put into it. And I have a whole slew of, what are they made of? I have reusable straws that are metal, and I can't remember what, I think they might be stainless steel. I can't remember. But I also have a silicone tip that goes on the straight ones, which turns it into a curved straw, which I absolutely love because I was finding with the metal things, I keep hitting my teeth with them. So I was like, yeah. So start, look at what you're using in the house and see if you can start switching it over to more environmentally friendly things, like, reducing the amount of plastic you have in the house and replacing it with something else. Now, some of my storage containers in the pantry for sorting out packets of things are plastic. But then these things come in their own sealed bags and things like that, and it just keeps it all nice and neat, and like the snacks and everything. So the plastic's not coming in contact with the food; it's coming in contact with the wrappers and the bags that these things come in. But it just keeps them nice and straight and organized on my pantry shelves. My pantry, I am very organized in there. It makes it easier to find things, and you can clean up the environment, support local cleanups. If there is a call that goes out for an organization where they're doing a cleanup day in a park or down at the beach or at the lake or in the, wherever, community centers and whatnot, go join in, go help out. And it's a great way to get to know people as well. You get to meet all sorts of great people when you're out on work days like that. They're doing a work day to clean up the park, go down and join in. And you'll get to meet some great people and stuff along the way as well. So it's a great way to network with people. And then for the environment is practice stuff at home as well. Now, not long after I moved in here, fact, I moved in end of May, and I think it was like August, September. They installed solar panels on the roof, which has been awesome. I'm curious to see how my electrical bills will be come the summer, because during the winter time, though, my electrical bill was zero. I guess I wasn't using much energy in the wintertime, surprisingly enough. But, what can you do? And they came in and they put these bag things into the toilet tanks to help reduce the amount of water that you use when you flush each time. And I called them up and I says, I'm having problems with those bags. Can I take them out? And they're like, no. I said, what can I do? This is, and they said, you can reduce the amount of water that is in those bags, but you can't take them out. I'm like, okay, I can figure that out. They made sure that all the light bulbs in the house were the LEDs. They're long-lasting light bulbs, whatever they are, but they actually put in what they called soft white. And the house had all these bright white ones, and the soft white ones in some areas were very dim. And I was like, I can't see a thing. I'd walk into my bathroom, I had these soft white ones over the thing. And right now I have a bright white light on. I'll show you what their light was like. It was, no, not that one. This is what their lights were like. Yellow. They go, oh no, it's called soft white. I go, no, they're yellow. Let's see, get me back there. Oh, it's a little dimmer. There we go. Back to my bright white. I said, no, I need the bright white. I actually refuse to allow them to do that, to change the ones in here, simply because I'm on camera so much. The other thing they did is they got up into the ceiling. They checked all of the vents in every room to make sure, are they properly sealed? And then they replaced all of the insulation in there. They even checked like the lights in the kitchen, which are in those canister lights that are flat to the ceiling and everything else. They checked all of those to make sure that there was that they were tightly sealed. They checked everywhere in the roof for that, and then they came in a couple of days later and they blew in new fluff insulation and all that sort of stuff. But they spent a lot of time here checking all the vents, and they didn't do the windows and the doors, which I thought was rather strange, but that's okay. I have this gap under my door in my bed. I have a door that goes outside of my bedroom, and it's like there's this much space underneath the door. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And right on the other side of the door is a security screen. But I'm like, yeah, no, I can see places that things can come into the house that I don't want in the house. So I actually went on Amazon and got one of these things, and it's a piece of material that goes underneath the door, and then on either side is a roll that you actually put these foam inserts into this they got these foam inserts that you put into these tubes, and it goes on either side of the door, and they have it so you can specify the length. And so I put the inserts in there, put it underneath the door, closed it, and now that's completely sealed off. So nothing from the outside can come in that shouldn't come in. So yeah, so also check around your doors and your windows. Do you have any places where drafts are coming in? Is there a way that you can seal it back up again? If you have, like the curtains behind me are actually thermal curtains, which are very good because they can help keep the heat in and the cool in, or they help keep the heat out and keep the cold out, which works beautifully. I mean, but that's okay. They're in the middle of the house. In the RV, they were awesome. It helped. If you're in the garden and everything, what can you do that is more environmentally friendly as far as weed killer goes, as far as fertilizer goes, that sort of thing? And, maybe you have your own small vegetable garden. I am not a gardener. I did not inherit any gardening green thumbs or anything like that. My grandmother could grow just about anything. My mum and my dad had these beautiful gardens. My dad would grow great vegetable gardens and things, and lots of great vegetables. Us kids spent we got kicked outside. We wanted a snack. We'll go into the garden. We'll pull off a stick of celery. And then we'll wash it underneath the garden tap with the garden hose. And just a little FYI, I cannot stand the smell of celery or the taste of it. As a kid, I would eat it like it was going out of fashion. Break off a stalk and eat it. We would pick tomatoes. We would pick the pea pods. I loved those because you split them open and eat the peas raw. I loved that. So yeah, we had a smorgasbord out there in the garden when we got kicked outside to go play. The rule was, if it's not raining, you're outside. If it's not raining and it's daylight, outside. We were thirsty, turn on the tap and drink out of the garden hose. So start looking at ways that you can do that. Even go down to like farmers markets and stuff and support them, because you'll get a lot of the organic farmers at farmers markets. Okay, so how can we also, that's the end of the environment. So spring clean our lives. How can we do that? We can do a digital detox. I try to do that every single Sunday. The only time I'm on the computer on Sunday is for this. Although today I was on because we had a really cool webinar on with essential oils, and it was about perimenopause, but they also went through menopause and postmenopause and different essential oils that you could do that would help with estrogen level, that may help with estrogen levels and other symptoms that come along and that sort of thing as well, which was very, very interesting and very, very helpful as well. And the presenter was talking about, the symptoms that she got. And every woman is different. There's no, everybody, all women experience it in different ways. And so she went through the symptoms that she discovered and what she is doing to correct it with her nutrition and the use of essential oils as well, which means that she's not having to have, for her, it's working very, very well. Other women, it may not. But she's having great results with it so far. And, she's not on any hormone replacement therapy or anything like that as well. So, which is really cool to learn about how you can do that, which was really cool. I'm not qualified enough to talk about that. I'm just telling you what I heard today from somebody who, through their experience, is what they're using. So yeah, digital detox. Reducing your screen time can help you sleep better and reduce your stress. I have a certain time that I come into the office every morning and get on the computer. I have a certain time at the end of the day where I am now off the computer, and then I get back on to do this. So I'm actually off the computer for 2 hours before I come on in the evenings and do my lives, unless it's out of daylight savings time, and then I have an hour. It's just the way it works. Even though Arizona doesn't do the time change or anything, it's just the way it works. So taking that, even having a day where you just put everything down. I don't usually check email on the weekend, on a Sunday, and something prompted me today did, and I'm glad I did, because I may have got somebody who's interested in something, and so we're setting up a time to converse with them so that we can have a discussion about what it is that they want, and maybe it may end up in business for me. I don't know, but you never know. Let's see. Organize your digital files. Unsubscribe from any unwanted newsletters and declutter your social media feeds. I go through I have my personal email. I have business emails. I get a lot of email messages. I have my Cruise Planners email, and I go through that at least three times a year. I don't do this one twice. I do it 3 times a year because we get so much email coming in, and I have things that will auto feed into the cruise lines. They auto feed into the cruise lines folders, into the land tour folders, and other folders as well. And so 3 times a year I get in there and I literally delete everything that's in that folder for that cruise line that's more than a month old. And I go through that and do that because it helps reduce the amount of storage space that I'm using. And it, seeing that you've got 1,229 messages within 3 months, it's sort of like, so yeah, sometimes depending on the cruise line, how often they're putting stuff out, I may even go back only 2 weeks and delete everything else prior to that. So yeah, and it's fun. I make a game of it. If I organize this, how many emails can I get out of here? And so I'm also setting up rules for some of them as well, because I was sorting everything perfectly fine. Then 2020 happened. We went into COVID, and all the global pauses, I like to call it. And all of a sudden, my inbox was like full of, I don't know what the heck. I've got all these rules set up for it to automatically sort. It comes in and automatically gets filed in a folder. It doesn't even hit my inbox. The only time I look at the cruise line stuff and the land travel stuff is if I have clients that are interested in that particular tour company or that particular cruise line. What deals do they have that may interest my clients? So I go in there like once a week and have a look. No, they had changed all of their emails that the stuff was being sent from. And I'm like, that is not cool. That is not cool. I was not happy about that one. But I'm going through and like I'm going through right now. This is something you can even do in the evenings at times, when you're just sitting and, I don't know, chillaxing sometimes. As I'm going through some of the folders and saying, well, what's this folder for? And I have one that's called stuff I signed up for, and then I have like different ones broken down. I go, I've never read it. Why did I even sign up for that one in the first place? I never read any of their emails. Unsubscribe, delete the whole lot. Clear it very quickly. Yeah, decluttering. It's like decluttering a closet or a filing cabinet. And yeah, once a year I go through my filing cabinets, because with tax documents, with business documents, you have to keep them there are some you have to keep for a certain amount of time based on the tax stuff thing that you got to keep for. Some you got to keep for 10 years, some you got to keep for 7 years. And somewhere, only because I've moved, I don't know which box it's in, I actually have a document which is given to me by a professional organizer, which had a list of, this is the stuff you need to keep for 7 years. This is the stuff as a business owner you need to keep for 10 years. This is the stuff as personal you need to keep for 7 years, da, 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 da. And yeah, it's a very good document that may still be in one of my filing cabinets, because I had to clean out the filing cabinets so they could move them. I just haven't found the box all the files are in yet. I'm going down I've got lists. So decluttering your social media feeds is going through and seeing, who am I subscribed to? Do I still want to follow that? What groups do I belong to? Because there's times that somebody just gets in there and they just do that at everything, or at followers, or at, was it highlight or whatever, and you're getting these notifications. I don't want to be on that notification. Well, maybe is that group still relevant? Maybe it's time to say bye-bye to that one. Let's see, mental health refresh. So you do need to take out time for yourself. Oh, jeepers, these little bugs are back. These little flying bug things that float around. Being very good at going and catching them. Let's see. So quiet time for reflection, meditation. Missed it. Gratitude journals, journaling, that sort of stuff that takes you out of the digital realm, where you sit down with just you and a piece of paper, a notebook, whatever, or even just put headphones on, so you can do some meditation, that sort of thing. I've got a meditation that's, I've got a 4-day meditation coming up about resetting your high vibrations. And I'm looking forward to doing that. And they're sending us the stuff first thing in the morning, and then it's up to us throughout the day when we want to do whatever it is that they send us. Still missed it. Sneaky little thing. Yeah, also regular activity as well. Some sort of activity. Just get up and get moving. Like Zeph and I go for our walks at least twice a day. Sometimes we'll put a third walk in there, but most of the time it's twice a day. And then it's just putting some music on and dance. It's doing something like putting music on and dancing. Maybe you're into exercise and you want to do some low impact exercise. Awesome. Me, I love to dance. So I put tunes on, and usually I was doing one song, but my goal I set on Saturday at my mastermind group was to do at least 3 times a week for 10 minutes each time. Hi, sweetie girl. Do you want to catch that little flying bug thingy that's floating around? That'll be grateful. So doing that, revisiting your goals, going to your goals. Are your goals still relevant? Have you been working on them? Have you not been working on them? Sometimes you look at your goals and go, I don't want to do that one no more. For whatever reason, that one's not lighting you up. So get that off your goal list. You can set it aside and put it somewhere else, like in a file or something. And maybe you'll come back to that goal later on. But right now, it may not be firing you up. So maybe it's time to reassess your goals. Maybe you've got to do them in a different way, like change them a little bit to make them more energetic. You got to have energetic goals. And by energetic goals, I mean the ones that get you excited. You jump out of bed and go, yes, today I get to do da-da-da-da towards my goal. Yes. So you want the energetic goals in there. You don't want the ones that sort of like, oh, I've got my goal, I have to go work on it. No, you want the ones that fire you up, that are energetic. You want energetic goals. Then you've got to build, building healthy habits. Now, as you know, Nicole comes on and talks about awesome stuff that we can do to help fuel our body in a clean way without all the junk food and the processed food and all of that. You'd be surprised at the crap they put in your food these days. Wow. Or how they process some food. It's like, So she comes on and talks about clean eating, but the cool part about her clean eating is it tastes really good. So I have slowly over time been changing things. And when she did the thing on reading labels, now I had this protein powder, which I absolutely loved. It was 21 grams of protein per serving, and it was chocolate. And it was like the best tasting chocolate. Now, the thing is that it didn't come from any direct seller or network marketing business, which is a shame because I would rather support that than the big brand of the big names and that sort of thing. Because the other ones I tried were smaller amounts, way more expensive, and had and didn't taste good. Sorry, you guys. I did have one that I really, really liked, but they stopped making it. And it was actually vanilla. And I'm like, and they also made really good pancakes too. It was like a scoop of the protein powder with an egg, and you beat it up and you make this really cool protein pancake. And it was really, really yummy. And that was all it was, just those two ingredients, the protein powder and haven't been able to do that with any other protein powder. And unfortunately, they stopped making that protein powder, which I was very upset about because it was a really good protein, even though it was vanilla, it was a very good protein powder. And so I ended up finding this one, which was really cool. And then she's going through, and then Nicole was going through reading the labels and that. And so I thought, okay, let's see what's in my protein powder. So I get it out there, and I've got like 6 2-pound canisters sitting in my pantry, and I look at this thing and go, Gower gum. And those that don't know about the Gowan gum, any of the gum ones that are in your food, they can cause gut leak. And I'm like, oh crap. I said, well, I've invested in these 6 canisters. I'm on number 1 of these 6 canisters. And when I get rid of them, I will switch. And so I actually got to recommend a clean protein to use, which she did. And so I would mix the two together when I was making my protein shakes. And then I said to the other day, I said, I finished my 6th canister. And so I am now not buying that one again, even though I really, really want to, because it tastes really, really good. But nope, that one's over there. And no more leaky gut on that one. And then there's something else I had in my pan. Oh, it was the coconut milk. And the coconut milk you got to get without the gum in it as well. And I'm like, so now I've got to find out where to get the coconut milk without the gum that comes in the cans that I can still use. So, things like this. It's just making those little changes. It's not going to your pantry and going, right, you're out, and just throwing out all this food and everything else. Some people may go and do that. I'm not one of those people. I'm one of those people, it has to be gradual. I have to gradually do it, because if I do it gradually, it sticks. If I go in and clean out everything, it may last a month or 2. So, yes. So that's about building healthy habits, learning to read the labels, finding out what works for your body, because some people need complex carbohydrates, need more complex carbohydrates than they do protein. Others need more protein than they do complex carbohydrates. I'm a protein girl. I'm a red meat girl. I need my red meat. I already know that. I tried to do, and I said to my doctor one time, I said to her, I'm going on a keto. And she said I needed to, because I was pre-diabetic. And this is back in 2018. And she says, we need to do something about this because you're pre-diabetic. And I said, oh, okay. Well, I'm going to be starting a keto program and I told her the date, and I said, and here's the program. She says, no. I looked at her and I said, excuse me. She says, I want you doing something like paleo rather than keto. And I was like, why? And she says, because you need the paleo diet more than you need the keto diet. And I was like, huh. She's a doctor. What does she know? She knew her stuff. She was rather than being an MD, she was a DO. And those are the ones that do the extra training. They learn about acupuncture. They learn about essential oils. They learn about chiropractic. She could do it all. She was one of those really cool doctors, and I didn't have to go see an OBGYN for my exams and that sort of stuff because she was able to do them. Most doctors will refer you to an OBGYN. She was able to do all of that. And so when it came to the diet thing, I was sort of like, and I said to her, the first thing I said to her is, I'm just going to let you know right now, I do not take medication unless absolutely required. She says, good. I don't prescribe it unless absolutely required. I says, excellent. We're on the same page. And so if you can find a good DO, they are awesome. And it's Doctor of, can't remember what the O stands for. But they do extra training more than the MDs. They go into the complementary treatments as well as the Western medicine stuff. They also go into complementary treatments like acupuncture, chiropractor, essential oils, all of those sorts of things. reflexology, they know more about that than what an MD would because of the extra training and stuff they do. So I go and I start doing this keto diet, and I'm like, I am so tired, and I've gone through that period where there's a period where your body's adjusting to it. And yes, you feel you're detoxing and you feel the drainage and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like about a month into this thing and I'm like, this is not working. And so I started doing the paleo, and immediately I started feeling so much better. And I'm like, damn it, she was right. So I do paleo. I do some keto dishes, but my diet, my eating habits are more towards the paleo plan than it is the keto plan, even though I do have some keto dishes that I put into my paleo plan. So it's a nice blend. So it's knowing your body and learning about that and just being consistent and patient, because things don't happen overnight, which is another reason I like to do it slowly and small, because if I slam everything in, it's not going to stick. It's just taking it one step at a time, taking it slow, and you never know, and it sticks better, and it sticks better with you, and you can tell, and the changes happen gradually, which is a good thing for the body because it's slowly adjusting. Sometimes when it gets slammed, some things may shut down a little bit or get a little upset with you. So the did I get it? Oh, I got it. It got stuck under a Post-it note. See, it got stuck under a Post-it note. Right, that's another little list thingy that's buzzing around me. So yes, so when you're spring cleaning the house, organize, use the keep, recycle, sell, and toss boxes handy. Put things away as you go. And when I'm in the kitchen, I clean as I go. As I'm cooking, I'm cleaning. So if there's a time where you've got to say, let this, when I was doing the steak the other night, let the steak sit for 5 minutes. So during that 5 minutes, I was cleaning up the dishes that I had used to prep the steak. And then I still had time to start putting together my plate with my vegetable and start putting my plate on with my vegetables and stuff. I was doing a salad with it. So I was able to make my salad while the steak was cooking. And then after I turned it over, I was able to clean up from my salad making thing. So when I finished cooking everything, the only thing I had out was my plate with my salad on it, my plate that I put the steak on to rest because I didn't want to sit next to the food. And then the pan that it was cooked in needed to be cleaned. And so while the steak was resting, I cleaned the pan. So by the time I came to sit down, and once the steak had finished resting and stuff, and I put it on the plate with the salad, I actually went and rinsed off that place, put it in the dishwasher. And then when I went to sit down, the only things I had in my hand was my steak knife and fork and my plate with my food on it. Everything else, all the stuff that I had cooked with, all the stuff that I had, all the stuff I had used to create the meal had already been cleaned, put away, and dealt with. So clean as you go. I try to do this all the time. I don't do it all the time. I'm not perfect. I just do what works for me. Do what works for you. Find your little groove and use that to help you spring clean your house. Go through one room at a time. I'm somebody who jumps around. I was, I had a table in my craft room. I've got a table there that had some stuff I'd taken out of a bag, and I thought, okay, I need to find homes for all of this stuff. And so I'd pick up this can go into this particular drawer because that's where I've got all of this stuff that's it's stuff like this. So that can go into that drawer with that stuff. So I walked it out to the kitchen to do that. A box caught me out of the corner of my eye. I went and had a look at this box. Oh, what can I put away in this box? Oh, I can put all that away. So I went and pulled that stuff out and put them away. And I was like, oh, I was working in the craft room. Go back to the craft room. I get something else. That's got to go into the bedroom, into the master closet. So I go into the master closet. And then I'm like, oh, you don't belong there. So then, and I'm like walking all over the house. I put in some steps today around the house. Let's see if this will tell me how many steps I put in today. I had the phone in my pocket. Yeah, I've already walked over a mile today, but we already knew that because of the steps I'd done. Yeah, I've done a few steps today. Yeah, I've already done the number of steps I've already done today is what I usually do when Zeffie and I go walking, do our 2 walks a day. So that when we go out to do our walk tonight, I will then be over the number of steps that I normally do in a day. But I was just walking around the house, putting this away, putting that. Oh, I've got tools. What have they got to go out into the garage? Get out to the garage. Oh, what have I got over? Like it's how yesterday I ended up sorting through my husband's golf bag and working out what he had and that all the woods were missing. And I was going through the side pockets. In the side pockets, I found four bottles of sports drinks in there that had been unopened, which were all, they were electrolyte replacing ones, because when he would go play golf, it was usually in the summertime in DC and hot and humid, and he needed the hydration. So he had the sports drinks in his golf bag, and there were 4 sports drinks in there. And I thought, oh, let me just go pour them down the sink. I couldn't even get the caps off them, so I just opened the trash can and they just went straight into the trash. I couldn't open them. And I thought, I probably really don't want to either, because he hadn't played golf since we'd left, since before his cancer diagnosis. So the last time he probably played golf was 2007. So this was like 17 years old, these bottles probably. So there was no way those were getting opened. 2007 would have been was the last summer he played golf. The last time he played golf. So I trashed those. There's a whole bunch of golf balls in there. I pulled out his golf gloves and tossed those, because those were like peeling, and nobody's going to want to put their hands in a golf glove that somebody else has worn. Found a couple of golf hats in there. What else did I find? A couple of his peaked caps. There's all sorts of stuff I found in there. And so I cleaned out most of it, but I still have to go back and pull everything out, clean everything that's in there, and clean off all the clubs and everything to make sure that they're good and nice and all of that sort of thing, and take photographs of them so I can send to my son, who can then turn around and say, what do you think they'll be worth and that we could get for them? Because there's a bag that comes with it as well. So we're going to clean out the bag too. So anyway, so just as you see things that need doing, just if you're able to, stop and do them. Like last night I was like, oh, what was in that box? And I've got some boxes sitting behind the couch. And so I went in last night, I thought, oh, let me just go see what's over here, and emptied out 2 boxes while I was back there. And I was in the craft room today, and I thought, oh, I needed a stapler, and there was no stapler in there. So I went and I thought, hang on, I saw one in the box last night. So I went and got that box that I saw it in last night, pulled it out, went and put it in the thing there, and now I have a stapler in my craft room. Got one here, but I also have one now in my craft room. So I'm sort of like, yay, another thing out of a box. Anyway, so find things to just do. You don't have to do my spring cleaning takes about a month from when I start to when I finish, because I'm not constantly doing. I have a schedule for work, and I have stuff that I have to do for clients, things like that too. So this is stuff that I fit in, and even if it's like 10 minutes, I've got 15 minutes. I'm going to go and I'm going to empty out 2 boxes, or I'm going to go through this box, or I'm going to go into this room and sort through this. I'm going to go into my closet and sort through the clothes. And I put timers on. So, and I make a game out of it. How much space can I free up if I go in here, or how many boxes can I do? How many boxes can I sort through and have cleaned up? So that means emptying the boxes, having them either in the keep, and if they're in keep, they're put away, the toss, the sell pile, or the donate pile. And I also have several boxes waiting for me to break them down and put them in recycle bins as well. So it's going through, how many boxes can I empty in 15 minutes? What damage can I do to the boxes in 15 minutes, or sorting and things. And then I ended up in the room where I have a lot of boxes, and I got rid of stuff out of there as well. And so I've been all over the house doing a little bit here, a little bit there, but that's what makes it fun. Make it a game. Give yourself, I've got 20 minutes. Let me go do this. I've got 20 minutes. Let me go do that. It's like when I went at the yard the other day and I did the side yard, and I said, right, I've got an hour to do the side yard, and I had it done in 30 minutes. Can I get it done in less than an hour? 30 minutes later, I was finished with the side yard. I was going to go out today, but I had something on, which prevented me from going out while it was still cool. We got up to 80 something degrees today. And it meant that by the time I got out there, the area I needed to work in was completely in the full sun. It was out of the shade. So tomorrow morning, guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be pulling weeds tomorrow morning after we get back from our walk. So let's come back from the walk, have breakfast, and then get out there and do some yard work before, how much can I get done in that other side yard over there, which is worse than the side yard over there. How much of that can I get cleared in an hour? So I'm going to give myself an hour to do that as well. So that's it from me for tonight. What can you get? So my challenge to you is go spring clean. What can you get rid of? Do you have a junk pile that you need to go through? How much of that junk pile can you get rid of? Can you dump the whole thing? Is there stuff in there you need to keep? Like I have a place on my table, and I'm annoyed at myself for this place on my table that's in the other room there that I use for my planning and everything else. It's piled high with junk mail. And now it's like, oh, I'm going to go through and do that. and there's a box sitting there that's empty, that's filled up for recycling stuff. So it's like, okay. So I've got a lot of stuff that I can go break down, put into the recycling bins. I've got a couple of places around the house that they're in. So maybe tonight I'll go break them down, put them in the recycling bin, and then put the recycling bin out the curb because it's trash day tomorrow. Or maybe I'll just leave it all till next week. But anyway, go challenge yourself as to what you can clean up in your house, what you can start spring cleaning with. And we will catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hey, Konera, have a super fantastic sparkling evening.